What's up, friends? This is Manni and welcome to the absolute easy mode in War Robots with the Ophion Shatter setup that just takes the game apart. We know many things that are completely overpowered. The Orochi is one that I don't even want to show you because that's ridiculous. But the Ophion, let me tell you, and I'm gonna prove it to you in this video, is not really much behind than in the compared to the Orochi. Even after the nerf, where Ophion lost some of its flight speed, but you can absolutely spawn raid entire teams with this thing, especially with the Shatter weapon that does tremendous overpowered damage easily. And you can even be attacked and take a lot of damage, which we'll see in the next situation. I have 3 guys on me at the same time. I'm taking 1 or 2 of them out. Ophion is still on me. Behind me now a Scorpion as a 4th guy with Havoc and Scatter. Also very dangerous, but the short cooldown of the Ophion lets you fly again very soon. And with a roulette battleship and double durability extender, I can get myself even gray HP back. That Crisis Robot needed to go with his Reapers because he would be able to bypass my shield in the air. That would be very bad. And I took him down very quickly, and now we're gonna continue to absolutely raid the enemy base with pretty much nothing they can do to stop me. Similar to what an Ophion looks like. At this point, this is not far behind. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, just look at what the enemy is trying to throw at me. They respawn, and they only have one target. Me. They don't want anyone else because I already killed them 2 or 3 times spawn raiding their base. This has become a personal thing now. If you would be the enemy team and you respawn, your only target would also be this Ophion. And that's exactly what's going to happen, but even that entire team just being on a respawn loop with a sole purpose to eliminate this single one Ophion can't do it. It can't do it. 1.5 minutes in, I'm already at I was already at Living Legend 1.5 minutes in, and this is just the beginning of it. I was meanwhile at 200,000 HP, now I'm back to 400,000 due to the battleship support on the roulette, and Living Legend is not stopping. It's completely out of control. This thing is the easy mode of War Robots, I'm not even going to lie. And we all know that. This is just that the speed nerf we've seen in the recent update, it's just the beginning. This is just the tip. And this is what killed me. The only reason with 500,000 HP why I die now is because I landed on a hill or like on an edge that would not allow me to move. I couldn't move anymore, so the team can now catch up with me and 4-on-1 me until I'm dead. And that was the only reason I died, is because my landing was on this corner and I simply couldn't move anymore. By the way, a problem we have in War Robots for a long time, and I think there should be something done about it. But this has always been an issue with flying robots when they land on an edge like this, with the weapons kind of sticking over the edge and hanging there. Yeah, so I had 500,000 HP. By the way, this is the setup in question here, Shatter Mark III, with the Kestrel drone also restoring gray HP every time we kill something, we restore gray HP and heal us up, right? So that in combination with a double durability amp, or durability amplify, yeah, I think amplify, no, extender, durability extender on the roulette battleship twice, that is a combination that lets you basically live on forever if you are doing a lot of kills. Yeah, you can, like I said, you can show yourself in the enemy base and you can still fight them no problem. And I started with 300-something thousand HP, and after having like 8, 9, 10 Living Legends, I was at 500,000, right? Where do you know this from? That's right, from the Ophion. So, no, sorry, from the Orochi. And that's why I'm saying we have only seen the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the nerf of the Ophion robot. And even though I don't want it, I'm saying it right here, disclaimer, I do not want the Ophion robot to be nerfed because it is a flying robot and it is performing considerably lower than an Orochi does all by itself. It's kind of also the skills of the player that you see that make a lot of difference. The know-how, not know-how, no, the map awareness, that's what I wanted to say. Map awareness is #1. If you're doing attacks like this against a base, every single landing you do after your ability must be perfect. If you're landing at the wrong location, you'll be dead, because they'll be able to catch you and kill you. So you have to make very successful hit and runs and always land where you know for the next 10 seconds you can stay there and fight maybe 1 guy, but not 3 or 4. And so there is some pilot skills also involved in what you've seen here. Not purely, I'm not going to say I'm the most amazing dude, but there was some decent piloting involved as well. The Orochi doesn't really need decent piloting, and that's the big difference here. The Ophion at least needs to be played right. But the Orochi is like, it's basically idiot-proof, to say it like this. I hope I'm not offending anybody by saying that. But that thing, not really much can go wrong. Look, here with the Ophion, we're in a short situation where we almost died. Thankfully, I managed to find a bit of cover to stand behind for 5 seconds until I regenerate my flight, and that's the moment the Newton Titan dies. And also a cool thing, the Newton Titan isn't all that dangerous against an Ophion, because that shield is his demise, right? That shield that you can also activate while being in the air, when you're getting choked, for example. So the Ophion is very well fit for this meta today, and it's performing exceptionally insane. To the point where I say the nerf is just the beginning. We'll see similar nerfs coming into maybe what the Seraph has seen. Although the Seraph is built on resistance, so it would be different. They can't weaken the shield, they can only shorten the shield. So I believe maybe we'll see something that happened to the Aochun. You may remember my recent video on how the dragon lost its flames, right, with the Aochun barely using its flamethrower anymore, simply because A, it seems to have a kind of a lock-on that it doesn't show before it starts to fire, and secondly, the ability cooldown is so short that you barely have time to even use the flamethrower nowadays, and the stealth duration went from 12 seconds to 6 seconds. Why? Here it comes, because it used to be you activate the ability and you immediately had stealth, and when you landed, only when you touched the ground the stealth would deactivate on the Aochun. Together with a longer cooldown was a difference of 6 seconds more stealth time, and this may be the same thing that that could happen to the Ophion in the next phases of their nerfs, which is very sad and absolutely something I hate about this game. It's the reason why I think War Robots isn't doing as well as it could be, because content is always introduced this much too powerful and game breaking that it requires subsequent nerfs to prevent this immense power creep curve. And if it was introduced with just ever so slightly more interesting abilities, maybe that are more creative and interesting rather than too crazy overpowered and game breaking, then it wouldn't require this subsequent terrible nerfing, and the game would do way better because people would be more confident in their investments. When they buy something, they know it will overall remain relevant and not at some point become completely worthless, same as the Aochun did. And so yeah, I think maybe we'll see, as much as I will hate to admit, something like similar nerf to the Aochun. The flight speed probably be nerfed again, and the shield will only activate once you reach the highest altitude of your flight. That means 2 seconds in the beginning less shield time, and then it deactivates as you begin to ascend at the end of your flight. Again, 2 seconds shield time missing, and in the middle of it, maybe Pixonic feels like scratching another 2 seconds of ability duration altogether, and swoop-de-whoop, we're back to Aochun level. No, actually, we're not quite yet at the Aochun level of nerf, because the cooldown of the Ophion robot will probably also be much longer, 4 seconds longer or whatever, and then we're truly at the level of the Aochun. And it's incredibly sad to imagine that, because this thing has earned its place in my heart, the Ophion, although it is still overperforming, as we can clearly see in this video. But some of that is also because of those weapons. Let's not forget that these shatter weapons are absolutely brutal, okay? If you were to run Scourge on this thing, I would never perform like this. Never, okay? Because why? Simple. You have a difference here of a lock-on. The lock-on itself will not allow me to switch from target to target and kill everything as I please. So that already will make a tremendous difference. The damage output of Scourge is a joke compared to the one of Shatter, and you have a longer reload in between, and you can't be flexible in your firing pattern, and so on. And you don't kill things quick, you kill them over time with a relatively decent DPM when you fully establish your lock-on, but all that needs to happen first. And yeah, so I would not nearly perform even remotely as what I did in this first match, or even here. And as such, the Ophion would somehow be back in a more balanced version. You see, a lot of things are unbalanced, not because one element is too powerful, right? A lot of things are unbalanced because all these elements that you fuse together that just make it this way. Here, for example, we're not running the Shatter. Right now, we're running the other Explode grenade launcher thingies. What's it called? Labris, yeah. And they perform very well, but they're not nearly as broken as Shatter. And as such, you also see a big difference between the previous gameplay and the one here. That's why I included this. And also to show how one Orochi from our team basically spawn rates the enemy home beacon until the match is over. That's also another reason why I chose to show you this. I don't want to feature that lame robot in my myself, but to show you why I don't do it, that's what it serves for. One guy from our team enters their home beacon spawn and the enemy team is continuously respawning forever and is never, ever, ever going to get to kill that Orochi, not even with their titans that are starting to come in now. And yeah, admittedly, I'm also on the enemy team. I'm not fighting the Orochi there, but still, yeah, it's crazy. He never dies. You can't kill him, right? And the Ophion, although not quite this ridiculous, is not too far away from it. But at least the Ophion, like I said, requires a bit of piloting skills rather than the Orochi that just does what it does without any real change. And if you then bring some pilot skills onto the table too and some good map awareness, you can basically make sure that Orochi will never ever die. You can play one thing for your entire match. You don't need a Titan, you don't need any of the other 4 robots. If you don't face off against a full 6-man meta pre-made squad in the other side running the same Orochis, you're gonna be fine throughout an entire match with that thing. And even that, I mean, just think about it. It can't be in the interest of Pixonic to let one robot perform so well that you don't need any other Titans and robots anymore. Is this not even this can be in their interest, but yeah, it just sometimes it really boggles my mind, things that we see in the game, and the Orochi is by far the thing that we need to see changed the most, and the most drastic change to it. Yeah, but now the Ophion, and I think I was able to prove this to you here, is an absolute deal breaker too. Moreover, with the combination of Shatter, though, I want to add that extra bit of information. If you run weaker weapons, Pulsar, Scourge, even Labris as a new weapon performs not nearly as broken as what I've seen previously. And yeah, so unfortunately, Pixonic may use the videos or performance results such as the one you've seen in this video as a reason to justify a nerf for the Ophion, but like I said, I think the Ophion itself doesn't really need a nerf. If anything, okay, if there has to be some nerf, okay, if there really has to be something, make the cooldown 2 seconds longer. That would be an okay thing, because we all know the Ophion cooldown is kind of unreasonably short for its long stealth flight, shield flight, and the powerful flight. These 9 seconds you have are really unreasonably short. If that was 2 seconds or 3 seconds longer, let's say 12 seconds, it would still be the same robot that you purchased, and you would probably not curse Pixonic for taking away something you bought and earned. Right? You would be saying, okay, it got a little weaker, but I understand, maybe it needs to be in this, but this much is okay. But there is a limit as to how much I think Pixonic should consider nerfing things that were previously introduced, which also goes in line with how are they being introduced, of course. So delicate balance, it's not so easy, and I wouldn't also say that it's easy for Pixonic to do any of these things. They always have to balance the profit versus the longevity of the game, though ever so as of late, it seems like the battle for the longevity of the game seems to be losing against the profit, and that is a bit of a sad thing. I'm always hopeful that we may see some change. And Warbots would still be such a great game if we got the hackers and the lags fixed. Maybe the matchmaking a little bit improved. Right now, already economy is being improved a little bit with some better silver payout for a long time now. You know, it would actually go a long way of bringing this game back to some golden era, maybe, right? It's not over for Warbots yet. It's not too late. But there has to be a willingness in order to change how the game markets its new content. Let's put it like that, right? So with that changed, there would be a chance for this game to really last many years still. But yeah, let's leave it as that with a bit of maybe a few words of hope near the end. And thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. Manni signing off.